Hello everybody, today I'm going to be sharing a real side dream experience from my book Chronicles of a Cosmic Space Case. The PDF link for the book is below the description of this video. Dream 16. The Perils of Astral Projection. This dream had a past life flavour about it. A glimpse, perhaps, into the past. The participants were a few people I had known in this lifetime, friends from school. So, perhaps then, the emotional attachments were such established from lives past that we would drag ourselves back to this world again and reacquaint ourselves. We were assembled together in a dimly lit room with a teacher. It had the feeling of a spiritual group or something along the esoteric lines. The teacher here was in fact the mother of one of the participants that I know now in this life. So it's always fascinating how we all assume various roles in our relationships with individuals. It transpired that we were a group being taught and practicing various forms of astral projection, remote viewing, and abilities of this nature. And there we were, projecting our vehicles all over the place, without the slightest inkling as to who or what may be lurking out there. Later on, I was in a house I presumed to be mine, and I had the impression of a guide there. They have a kind of presence about them that can't be faked or replicated by deceptors, even if the deceivers can assume the forms of the guides. I was informed by this guide that due to my out-of-body excursions and activities of this kind, that I had created very strong portals, and demonic entities were biding their time. As it seemed, I had protection from the guides, and the entities could not move against me in that lifetime. They would wait until I returned again in the next lifetime. Their objective was to try and seize me and pull me through into their lower astral domain. I don't know if they would have been able to do this if portals created in one lifetime in fact carry over into the next. I had thought that with a new vehicle such portals would have to be reopened, maybe through certain inadvertent portal opening practices again. Perhaps it was presumed I might well take up these practices again, and these critters might make a grab for me then. And indeed, I did take up astral projection in this lifetime, just prior to finding the new presentation. I had enough success with it that undoubtedly I'd be drawing attention to myself, possibly create portals, and would be lacking the protection of the guides. Lucky then, I would have enough awareness then to recognize the new presentation, begin singing the new you, and thwart possibly the evil intentions of the astral dwelling entities, as now I no longer practice and chase the out-of-body experiences. Occasionally they will happen, yes, as they are still valid experiences. Interestingly, I would have maybe a past life flashback now, with the accompanying warning. Due to the routines and patterns we establish in our created consciousness, I tend to steer towards magic and phenomena in my lifetimes, and very likely would take to astral projection quite readily, as I'd done it before, and so it would be lurking in my subconscious causal body, waiting to be reignited. So in the advent of my not recognising the ears this time around, that I return to a physical life again, there's the real possibility I would do astral projection once again. If there is no new presentation in the robotised world I may find myself in next, I might open up portals and the entities pounce and drag me screaming to the lower astral. So perhaps a warning right there for the next life, as we are running out of time here, and getting enough recognition to perceive the ears this time around is no guarantee. Dwayne provides a view. That's a very good explanation of what's going on, and most people don't realise that remote viewing, astral projection, and things of this nature, soul travel, etc., have implications people don't understand or are not aware of the portals, and I've known people who have been into black magic, etc., and we've all been through things. It's easy to get into and jump into something, but getting out of it is a different story. If you're wanting to get into a witchcraft or whatever, the mafia, secret government, etc., all of a sudden, you can't just quit one day. You have certain information. You've learned certain things, and they want to keep their secrets. It's a secret world of conspiracy, and they're apt to get rid of you in any way they can. When Paul first came out with secret knowledge of your dreams in 1970 to 71, he was talking about some farm workers in California that died in their sleep. There's different ways they can get you. The Montauk Project, etc. And this is what they do, because this is all they know. They do astral projection, and it is a valid experience, just like anything, like taking drugs, or getting intoxicated and wobbling down the street. These are experiences too, but is that what you want to do? With the new presentation, this is where I created the idea, so people have a reference of UP, universal positioning, and to really understand and recognize this takes some doing, because it's not about going here or there, but just like you are doing here, you will be travelling or experiencing that sensation. But now it's about your real awareness and seeing the 5 bodies and recognizing that. So you're not the effect so much of them, until you get a handle on it to where you're not the effect or restricted by it at all. This world baits people. In other words, markets phenomena constantly that looks good, thrills, sensations, etc. And yes, we all have these. It's not about negating anything, but you make the choice. It's like too much sugar in your coffee. How much of that thrill do you want? Until you have diabetes. Then it doesn't become so thrilling, does it? You're a great witness to this, as you've practiced this in the past. People who do these things are risk takers, and this is what the guides look for. They look for the risk takers who will take the risk, and not everybody will, to step up and do what others haven't. And the guides can see, they can read your past records and what you went through. So at a certain point, they come to us and they give us the opportunity. Just like a baseball scout would go to a high school that works for the major leagues and is looking for new people to step in, because the old players are getting older, and this is it too. But this is the bigger journey, where the real guides look for people that want to step up, become more aware, and free themselves. Paul warned about this also. The psychic sciences. There's a lot of phenomena involved, but you don't need it. There's a better way to take the risk, and that is become more aware, step up, and share something real with the whole of life, and pay attention to the real side, etc. And so sing the new you song. Watch your dream visions, and let the whole of life and the real universal guides show you what is real now.